Well, welcome to another episode of the Boss Experience podcast. My name is Michele Davis, and I'm here with my special guest, Stephanie Bartholmus. And I'm so happy to be speaking with her today. And today we're actually talking about, building out packages. And while Stephanie will focus on, building out the packages from a VA perspective, because she's a VA coach, she's a mom to some beautiful awesome children. And, you know, we're going to take it from a perspective of a VA perspective, but it basically, everything we're going to talk about applies to any service-based business. So actually, before we get into building packages, Stephanie, I just want to, I want to talk about some of the problems that we kind of see in the industry. And then I want to talk about like your story, because you kind of fell into entrepreneurship in a sense. But some of what we see in the industry and some of what I see in the industry is, people kind of throw services, they kind of throw them on the website, and next thing you know, they have 50 different services on their website. And, you have to look at it two ways. You have the VAs that are trying to earn their living and get their business going. But you also have people like me who may hire a VA because I'm a business coach, and, I have the podcast and I have different business ventures going on. So you have to look at it from the perspective, what do people see when they look at my services, when they look at my website? So we're going to dive into that, but tell people how you actually kind of fell into entrepreneurship, kind of like head first.
So it really started as a desperation move almost, because like I was miserable at my corporate job, right? Like I was like, I need out. Like I'm a mom of two boys, and I'm a mom first, right? Like both are special needs. And like one at that time, I had just like recently found out my one son has cerebral palsy. So he had just been diagnosed, and like we were going to so many different appointments. And at that time, when I started looking, it was like right when school kind of started, right? It was like winter time. So kids like take turns getting sick, right?
Mm.
And like my my female boss at the time was like so upset with me because I needed to call off work. I was using my PTO, mind you, but like she didn't like that I needed to take care of my kids. Well, can't you find someone else to do that? I'm like, no, I cannot.
And that
No.
sounds crazy considering this is a female boss. You would think she would be understanding.
Right.
Yeah.
But she didn't have any kids of her own.
Mm.
And like, she never planned on having kids ever. Like, that just wasn't her thing. And like, honestly, truly, like, no judgment there. I don't like, if that's how you want to roll, like, cool, like, no judgment. But please don't take your like ideals and try to like instill them on me. Like, that's not like, no, right? I don't want to I'm not trying to like throw my like stuff on you. Like, don't do that to me. And so it turned into this whole thing. And so I I was sitting there thinking like, okay, I need to find a job and before I'm going to preface this with, I have nothing against this industry, but it's just not for me. That isn't MLM or network marketing, because that's not me. It's not my personality. It's not for me, but that I can make legitimate money and work from home and have that freedom
To
where I'm
support
my
yourself.
right, that I can like do that, support myself and my kids, right? While I have like a fiance, we're officially allowed to get married on like, we had to wait, like we had to reschedule this podcast, guys, like multiple times because either I was sick last week, I was going to elope and that didn't work out. Like, guys. So yeah, anyways, But like that I could just do exactly that. Like I could just drop everything and go get married if I wanted to, right?
Yeah.
But have that freedom of being my own boss, right? And not like have to ask permission to take my child to the hospital if I needed to for an appointment, or like stress over, feel that stress, feel that sickness in my stomach of going to work, or like literally I was angry at the world. I was angry at everyone. Like there was so much stress between me, and I call him my unicorn because him and I are gross. Like we are so disgusting. Like as a couple, like we love each other to the extreme. Like we are yin and yang, like disgusting television perfect couple. Like I know it. I make us sick. Like thinking about it, it's gross. It's gross. But that's us. And like I was picking fights with him because I was so miserable, because I couldn't release that anger at work, right? I couldn't tell my boss off. Like, that's not what you do in corporate. Like, I needed that job. And so I was looking for all this stuff, and then virtual assisting popped up. Like, because, Facebook is scary. And
You know what you're thinking.
Right? It's like, it's scary. It's really scary. It's just, it's terrifying, man. So it like popped up, and I was like, okay. So then I like dove down that rabbit hole. Man, that is like one deep rabbit hole. I'm telling you what, it's like Alice in Wonderland in there, because I still haven't like surfaced. Like it is like virtual assisting, guys, is like one big like blanket statement. It's an umbrella statement, because like the world is so, there's just so many branches in virtual assisting like you could do, right? Because technically I'm a tech and systems specialist. Like I only do tech, and I train tech VAs, right? I only focus on the tech aspect of virtual assisting. And so, but anyways, that's another thing entirely. So what ended up happening in my 3-year anniversary of being fired, guys, and I smile about that. Do you see this? I'm smiling.
And you eventually got fired because you had to go take care of your kids, your special needs kids. And you had to take your child to the doctor, and she eventually fired you because you were
you're unreliable. You're unreliable. But all my work was always turned in on time. Like I got it was a thing. It was a thing. But I was happy, because the day I got fired, and here's the thing, the day I got fired, I sat at my desk that morning and was like, I wish I was the person that could just get up and quit. I wish I was the quitter. I wish I was a quitter. And that afternoon, that at 3:00, I was called into her office. We need to let you go. I was crying tears of relief. Like they thought I was sad. No. All I was thinking is, thank you. And that's the day. And that's the day I just dove in, and I have not turned around. And it's just blossomed into this beautiful, beautiful life of, I was able to, so I support my entire family. My fiance, like he was able to quit his job at the end of October so that he can focus on his landscaping business. And right now he's taking the whole winter off because I can support us. Like, it's surreal. But 3 years.
A lot can happen in 3 years. For anyone who is listening to this podcast, I mean, a lot of things can change, because things haven't always been smooth for you. I mean, you and I have spoken, about, kind of some of the challenges you've had, before this point. I don't know if you want to share that.
Oh yeah,
briefly.
absolutely. Like,
in case anyone's going through something,
Yes. Like, do not get me wrong. Entrepreneurship is not rainbows and butterflies in any way, shape, or form. I'm sorry, can I curse? Like, can we like
Sure.
okay. Like being me, I am like a sailor. Like I am not a prim and proper little, I'm short. I'm very like, I'm five, like nothing, but like I curse like a sailor. So I work my fucking ass off to get to where I am today. Like there were lots of tears and lots of like, I learned, like I had to learn, but it was one of those every time all right, actually, I'm gonna go good place here. Every time I forked something up, like I learned from those mistakes, so I didn't do it again. Hell, you guys, I deleted a whole website once and had to redo the whole fucking
Oh,
thing.
wow.
Yeah. So I mean, like it was not rainbows and butterflies. I mean, there were months when I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. Like I suck. Like I don't know why I'm here. And then there are other months when I'm like, I am a tech goddess. I own this. Like I know it. Like come to me and I can help you figure anything out. Like tell me that can't be done. Hold my coffee. Like right? Like and like, but that when I realized that was the energy that you needed to actually accomplish the things, that's when it all kind of changed. But that took learning. Like you have to learn to build up to that energy to like get to the point of still, I mean, how guys, oh, it's 11:11. Okay, sorry. I'm that person. Okay, not
You
sorry.
have to learn how to tap into that energy. But one
Exactly.
thing you mentioned, you're a tech goddess. So I just want to can you kind of like go kind of give a like a high level overview of what a virtual assistant is and how you came to be a tech goddess? Because pretty much I think a lot of people they may pick up the VA hat and put it on and they say, okay, I hear you can make money. This is in now being a virtual assistant. But it's really about tapping into having a starting point and tapping into what you already know, which is what you did. So can you talk about that?
That's yes, that's a huge thing. It's one of those things where you have to any like okay. And I don't want to say anybody can be a VA because it isn't, it's not. It's this industry, it's not for anybody. And that's something that I kind of learned as I became a coach, right? It's one of those things where you have to have that discipline of one, being able to be your own boss, right? But two, yes, it is learning that you can take stuff from what you've done in your 9 to 5 life, right? So if you were, let's say you worked in the office, right? And you're like, do admin work, you can take that and transfer it into a virtual assistant life, right? And you can take that and create, um, heck, you can create packages from that and like start, advertising that, you can help with email like organization, or you can help with customer service for, clients that need stuff, for launches or something like that, or help people organize their CRMs. That's a huge thing because they're messes. Or if you understand, if tech makes sense to you, because trust me, there are people that have, and I get this, and maybe like if you're hearing this right now, you're going to have a light bulb moment, but you have this specific brain where like you can hop into a program and it just makes sense to you. Like you're that think about this. If you're at work and you're that go-to person that people come up to you and ask you how to run this program, right? Or you like get that new program at work and you figure it out, right? They teach you and then you become the trainer because it just made sense to you. Like, I don't understand why this is so hard for you. Like, dude, like, right? That was me. Like, that was me. So, like, hopping into this world, it was so easy to transfer into the tech VA side of it because I was able to hop into all of these programs and like figure them out and like to to those that like tech is scary, I was like, listen, I can help you. Like, and I can make money doing it, right? But you don't realize that you can make money doing what you're good at, right? What you're helping people do already, y'all, you can make money doing that. And you don't have to feel bad about it. You're just charging people for your skills, for your magical gifts. Like that's what I call them, like your gifts, your zone of genius. Like that's, and you don't realize it until much later, like that it is your zone of genius. That's another topic we could go on for hours about. But but like that's how you do it. You start thinking about, okay, in my 9 to 5, what were people asking me for, like, all the time? What was I like, what can I do, like, all the time? What was I doing all the time? Like, I guarantee you could definitely do it in the online space. You sure as shit can do it in the online space. You really could. And it's like, we don't realize it, right? We just don't.
Yeah, you got to think of your life just like you sit down and think, put all these skills on your resume and you're like, okay, when I'm applying for a job, these are the skills I have. Do the same for your business, particularly if you're going or you're thinking about being a virtual assistant or even, no matter what service-based industry it is. Now, you mentioned something that was really key because I think people kind of lead off with what they think they're going to make money at. But you mentioned not everyone should be a VA. So who is perfect? Like, how do you determine whether an industry is perfect for you, whether it's a virtual assistant industry, just in your assessment and experience working with other people and coaching other people?
So what I've actually learned is if you can't get up in the morning to do it, like seriously, if you can't motivate yourself to boss yourself up, to go into wherever your working space is to get the work done, then that's not what you should be doing. Because truly, we have been conditioned our entire lives to believe that work is something that we do whether we like it or not. Whereas in this entrepreneur space, I have learned the complete opposite, where if you love what you're doing, and this is the money side of it, guys, where, and this is what I teach my clients for real, this is how you make the money when you're doing what you love. And there is no such thing as a niche that makes more money than any other. It's when you're doing what you love. People will see that you're doing what you love and they're attracted to that energy and they will want to work with that energy. And then you're making the money. Period.
And they
That
see
goes with
your passion, but they see your expertise. If you're showing up and you're just trying to fake it and you're trying to put, watch a bunch of videos and pretend like you know what you're doing, they're going to see straight through it because there's going to come a time when they need something that you can't provide.
Exactly. And integrity is everything, y'all. Integrity is everything. Listen, there's faking it till you make it. And then there's just straight up lying. Okay. So I'm going to be straight and say that I have definitely signed up for projects when I didn't know the program, but I told that client that I didn't know the program ahead of time. And I told them that I was a fast learner. And I told them that if I didn't know how to do it, they would get all their money back.
And you knocked it out the park.
Every time. Please, tech goddess, please. But that's the thing. I knew, and they knew that they had that confidence in me because I built my reputation enough that exactly what we said. I built my reputation enough to know that I will figure it out. I get the job done. And if I can't get the job done, I find somebody that can get the job done because I won't let my clients down. Integrity is everything.
Mhm.
Integrity is everything. And listen, everybody knows everybody. Like, yes, there are billions of people in this world, but the internet is still a small place, and somebody knows somebody, and they're going to find out who you are. And I promise you, no one's going to want to work with you.
Yeah, I agree. And, when I know people are thinking like tech, I don't have any tech skills. And actually, everything is evolving around tech. We're moving into more of a demand for where people are going to work from home. We're moving into more virtual hybrid type of work.
Mhm,
So, don't get scared off by tech because you're probably doing it already anyway in your current
mhm,
role. Now, let's talk about the packaging because,
mhm.
a lot of VAs, I see them, they just kind of I see them online and I'm like, I wouldn't work with this person. Like, if you can't get, certain elements together, your messaging, I can't see myself working with you. And like, what do you specialize in? What can you actually help me do? And
Mhm.
I think people, just like any service-based position, I think that's really important. So let's talk about packages. Let's talk about these people that got like 50 different services on their website and they want somebody to go through and try and figure it out. So what's the first step to kind of setting yourself up for success when it comes down to packaging your services?
Right. So like if you can't decide, like, and I get it when you're starting out and you just don't know what you do yet, keep your site clean, y'all. You can easily just put general VA on there and stick to 10 services that you want to offer. Okay. Listen, you are not in corporate anymore. You don't have to do everything. Hi, just gave you permission. You don't have to do every fucking thing out there. Okay.
And
Okay.
it's
Okay.
okay.
Okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's, you know what? Actually, my favorite line, this is my quote that I say to everybody. You don't need to know all the things. Straight up. You don't need to know all the things. And if you are just starting out, this is what I recommend to every single VA out there. Start with hourly packages. Okay. It just makes sure it's going to make your life so much simpler for this fact until you know your skills, until you know what you're good at. And this is my people starting out, start with, let's say, a 5-hour package. Okay. And keep it at one price, 5-hour package on your site. I generally VA focusing on 10 things, 5 things. That's it. That's all I want you to focus on, guys. Boundaries too. Boundaries, and keep it just to that, guys. That's it. Okay. If eventually you guys start working more, then yes, let them know what you're good at. It's okay. It's okay. All right. Then make another package, 10-hour package, then another 15-hour package. Okay. Then within those packages, put expiration dates on those hours. Okay. Because one, that puts fire under that client's butt to use those hours up. Okay. Because your client needs your help. Okay. This is a really great coaching method. Your client needs to learn how to delegate work. They're so used to doing that work on their own, and you need to learn how to talk to your client to get that work from them. Okay. So this is coaching on both your parts. This is your client learning how to be a boss, and this is you learning how to do your job better. Okay. So when you put that expiration date on there, you're both winning. And I want you to like think of it that way. And even explaining it to them that way is perfect. Letting them know, listen, this is for your benefit. So we get more work done in that 30 days.
So
Because
think
it
of it
is.
like like in the olden days where like rollover minutes or nothing's gonna roll over. So this is a 5-hour package and it's based on the month. You start fresh
Mhm,
every month.
mhm.
And
Exactly.
Now, when you're more experienced and you're ready to, and you know what it is you like, is it your suggestion to then kind of move into, let's say if someone's going to focus on social media management, to
Mhm.
move into more package-based
Yes,
pricing?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So once you know what your skill set is, and once you know like what you want to focus on. So if you're going to do social media, or I'm a tech and systems specialist, away from coaching, that's what I do. I focus on tech and systems, and that's what, like, I do all package prices, right? So I have like different packages to offer my clients, whether it be project based or retainers, right? So you would offer like a higher price based on, what your skill set is, right? And you know what you can do within that set amount of time, because at one point, that hourly is gonna mean nothing, because you're going to be able to do those things so much faster, and it's going to take you no time at all. So definitely, I highly recommend, if you end up niching down, create those packages, and then make those packages so you're offering, like for social media, for example. I know I have a client that has social media packages. One she offers three different ones, and one's like a smaller package, larger, and then like a biggest package that she offers all the things, right? But like the pricing varies for each one. Um, but it's still, she's making money because she's not working. There's no hours limitations on there, you know what I mean? And it's a monthly rate for all of them. But make sure you put boundaries in place. Always put boundaries in place, because they're important.
So yeah, so if you're one of those people that's listening to this podcast right now and you have like 50 different services, 20 different services, par it down, focus on, some, simple packages, 5 hour, what can you do in 5 hours? Don't overstretch yourself trying to put too much in there either, because you want to make sure you can do what you say you're going to do, and, be clear on that as well. Now, some people may be afraid to price themselves too. So don't think you have to price yourself at an admin rate. You
Mm.
know, do you want to speak to that about pricing? Like if I'm thinking like, what are my skills worth in this
Mhm.
industry?
So honestly, it's gonna vary. I always it's so difficult. It's really difficult, because when it comes to like coaching and my side, I always tell my tech VA clients, like, truly the lowest you should be charging is, if we're going to go hourly, is $35 an hour for a tech VA, just because it's very specialized. It's a specialized niche, right? And you're doing a lot of things that a lot of people aren't able to do, like on the tech side, putting things together, integrating, and just figuring a lot of the stuff out. And then even like, it truly comes down to like, even VAs, I guess 20 to $25 an hour is the typical rate, um,
For general?
for general VAs.
Mhm.
Yes, because they're still doing a lot, Um, but this is how I feel about the whole thing, is whenever you're making out your prices, no matter what, it comes to the sales call, and whatever you feel comfortable, because they're going to feel your energy whenever you make your pitch. So the moment you make your pitch and say, okay, like, it's going to be, um sorry, I'm like trying to go backwards. uh say it's I try not to sound okay. Uh, it's gonna be like 2,500 for this project, right? Um, and like, if I say it like without that confidence, right? Like, I'm, I don't feel comfortable saying that, right? Like,
Like you're going
don't
to
feel
lose the client, like you're
exactly
terrified and
right.
yeah.
But I come at you, okay, listen, my team can come in here and help you get your launch ready completely from beginning to end, help you get everything organized with your ops, with your course, with everything. We can make sure that, And then we'll leave you with a launch plan so that you have one for in the future that you're not going to need us. Okay. That's going to cost around $7,000. How does that sound? Right. I have that energy there because I know what I deliver. I know I have the energy, right? I have that confidence. That's what you need to come in with your pricing, right?
And you gave them the outcome. Like, this is how, this is what you get. This is what you're going to get at the end of the day. Not just like, this is my price and that's it. And they don't know what the end
Right.
product is.
Gotta make it sexy,
Yeah.
man.
Because they're coming to you for a solution. So you got to
Mhm.
give them a solution that they're willing to pay for. You got to know what they need. So that's very key. So, okay, so we covered a lot. We talked about, in general, what a VA is. We talked about like mapping out your skills and making sure that, don't be afraid to be general in the beginning and then try and, figure things out later. The more you work with clients, the more you know what you like and what you don't like. Making sure that you have boundaries in your packages, and you just don't have these packages where next thing you're thinking you're working 5 hours for a client, and the client they end up telling you that they're going to roll over their hours from the previous month, and the next thing you know, you're working 30 hours for the client because they can't get it together.
Right.
And those are clients you just need to like terminate anyway, and you should always have an agreement in place when you're working with clients.
Always.
Yeah. And did I miss anything you touched on? Know what you
No.
specialize in. And don't be afraid to be confident in your pricing. That's all part of sales. Be confident in your price. This is the price. That's it. If the client walks, let them walk. But you don't.
Exactly. Don't
I
let that
used to
get to
sit there
you.
crying at the computer, like, why did I underbid myself for this project? Yeah, you don't want to do that because you're doing this for a purpose, and you have to think of, what is your why? And taking on a client and underpricing yourself is going to lead you to not be able to accomplish the goals that you want to accomplish. So, Stephanie, you are a coach. So you coach on this all day, every day, right? You have programs, or like, what is like, how do you coach people on how to be a VA? And then do you coach new people? Like,
Yeah, I actually I have a one-on-one coaching, and then I actually have a tech VA course, the tech VA experience, so that whether you are just coming into like the tech VA world, or you're in the world but you just feel like lost and you need to get more grounded, it's a course, a self-paced course. I'm sorry, I lost words for a hot second. It's a self-paced course.
you're thinking about
Just,
eloping.
I know. No, that's a 20-second. I know what I'm doing there. I know what's happening. The 20-second, we're eloping. No one can stop me. No one. I'm determined. But no, the Tech VA experience, it's a self-paced course, and you go through and I like help you get your tech VA business from the foundations all the way to mindset. We talk about corporate detox in there. I help you build out your processes and your workflows, and really get your head in the game for being the best tech VA out there, and even talk about like marketing yourself and like really getting out there and finding your ideal clients. It's pretty stellar. So I have that, and then actually we have in April, we're opening back up the mastermind, the Tech VA mastermind, where it's an amazing community, and it's just, we have group coaching, 24/7 co-working sessions. We have a room open that we just come in. If we want to work together, we work together, because this life can be kind of isolating, very much so. And it's just, last night, I actually worked till 2 a.m. on a project for one of my clients because it was a very last minute thing that was thrown at me, and I had to get it done. So I messaged the group and I was like, I'm going to be up for a while if anybody wants to join me. And 7 people came in, and I was like, It was the best thing ever, man. It was the best thing ever. But we have Learn with Stephanie's. I get to teach them different programs that they ask me for. Today we have hot seat coaching. Somebody asked me like for 1 hour of coaching, like in front of the whole group. So everybody benefits. And it's a blast. It's just the best thing ever. So we're just building communities. It's awesome.
And some people may be thinking, well, I don't know if I would even want to be a tech VA. So can you define, briefly define what a tech VA does? What does that
Absolutely.
mean?
Absolutely. So typically a tech VA is not going to focus on the general admin stuff. You are not doing social media whatsoever. You're not writing copy. You're going to work on like website management. I don't mean design, guys. I don't mean design. You're going to work on the website management, the back end work of like all the tech. So building funnels a lot of the times, integrating all the stuff, working on Zapier. Oh, I love Zapier. Figuring out like all that tech stuff that's not working. I get really excited because that's what I do. Like all the tech stuff that doesn't work, I get to go in and like detective work, figure out why it's not working. And then
Auto responders.
automations.
Yeah.
Automations, integrations, email marketing is another big one. Putting those all together. There's learning like the different platforms for your clients and kind of teaching them. I know a lot of tech VAs are doing that now, is figuring out the new platforms for their clients and then making Loom videos for them, because it's scary for a lot of people that are afraid of tech. It just is. And it's fine. It's like one of those things where it's like, no problem. I'll figure it out and show you. I mean, you're making money doing something you love. Like it's awesome. And then a lot of it, project management is actually a big one, hopping into those project management tools, like ClickUp, Asana, Trello, Monday.com. Those are, really big ones. But yeah, those are some examples. But again, tech VA is another umbrella term of like, there's so much under it that, you could be doing, but it definitely, yeah.
Salesforce would be another like
Yeah.
example if you're thinking about like what software and
Yeah.
people are
HubSpot's
always
another
looking.
one.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
people are always looking to navigate that. So
Mhm.
you have been such a wealth of information, Stephanie. So, for anyone listening, how can they find you?
You can come find me over on Instagram at Stephanie BCO, or you can come join my Facebook group, the Tech VA Lounge. If
It's
you're
free?
yes, it's a
Okay.
free Facebook
So,
group.
so if they're
Just
just wondering, they want to just kind of play around, see who's in there, see what the conversation is about.
if you're a big techie nerd and you want to just figure out what being a tech VA is, I go live every Tuesday. I have special guests a lot of the times, and we are always in there giving each other advice on different apps, like what would you use for this, or I'm like running into this problem. It's like the most amazing community. So yeah, hop in, join us, and have a blast with us.
And there's one big industry that's like going to get bigger in 2022 that you didn't mention that's kind of tech too, and that is podcasting.
Yes,
Yeah.
actually, that's a huge thing. My one of my clients, she's actually teaching me more. She's teaching me more about podcasting because I've been very scared of podcasting, but she's teaching me a lot about it.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, podcasting is a huge up and comer like in the industry. I mean, it's always been there, but as far as tech VAs are concerned, it is. And actually I'm adding that module to the tech VA experience where we're recording that. But it definitely, like, the different programs and stuff are, there's some out there that are extremely like in-depth and overwhelming that are just, people want to learn and they ask me about them and I'm like, I don't know yet, but I'll figure it out.
Right.
Like, I can figure it out. Just give me a second. So yeah.
And as a podcaster, I mean, everything from like editing the audio, extracting the audio from the video,
Mhm.
packaging the video, uploading the video. Like you could actually, and that's just an example of niching down
Mhm.
so that, you can become specialized and you're focusing on one group of people. And, if you're in a 9 to 5, this is certainly something you can start as well, right?
Oh, absolutely. I
Yeah.
have so many people that it's a quote unquote side hustle. Actually, one of my clients last year, in a month will be her year anniversary. She quit her 9 to 5, and now this year she's on her way to 6 figures. Um, but just it was her side hustle, and she just went full time. And she's actually a launch specialist. And but it was her side hustle for almost a year.
And
And
people are always looking to launch ebooks, they're looking to launch courses, they're looking to launch programs,
everything.
everything, businesses. So there is a
Exactly.
market out there. So
Mhm.
Stephanie, I just want to thank you so much for taking the time. We made it happen. We had a few
Yay!
reschedules, but we made it happen. And so I'm happy
Yes.
we got a chance to chat. And I'm so happy,
Same.
even more happy you got a chance to deliver some value to the audience. So that's always awesome.
Yes.
So thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you for
And
having me.
can you give a final statement? Like if just as we close out, like a final statement, encouraging or raw, anything that
Guys,
people can benefit from.
truly, I have to reiterate this. You do not need to know all the things. Please, 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 for the love, stop. Stop spreading yourself so thin, because all you're going to do is make yourself sick, and you're just putting yourself back to where you're trying to escape. And what's the fucking point? Okay, that's it. That's all I got.
Perfectly said. Perfectly said. I could have said it better.
I mean, why? Why?
Exactly. Well, thank you so much, Stephanie. And I'll see everyone else on in the next episode. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hope so.
Yeah, I'm thinking, am I going to see them? Are they going to hear me? Like, yeah. But you'll either hear me or see me in the next episode. Bye.